What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody had an excellent weekend. If you're in New York and New Jersey, hopefully you're defrosted and you're able to shovel yourself out. The Jersey Shore got pounded with snow, which was miserable, but the roads seem to be pretty clear today. I went through some of the feedback on the video I posted a couple days ago about content for our channel. And the one thing we want to do is we want to keep things interesting and entertaining in the off season. Obviously, we'll cover free agency, we'll cover the draft, we'll do all those different things. We also want to change things up a little bit. Like last night, we went through a stream with the Jets-Jaguars 1998 playoff game. We'll do a lot more of that. And one of the common things we got were two things. It was what made you a fan of the New York Jets and how did Let's Talk Jets even start. So I'll go with what made me a fan of the New York Jets. And, my family primarily was Giant fans. The Jersey Shore, or most of New Jersey, were Giant fans. Long Island was Jet fans. But I always wanted to go to a game. And, I'm just an avid sports fan all my life, just baseball, football, anything. I was just completely into sports. So my father wanted to take me to a game, but, it was just like, tickets were hard to come by, and, times were tough, whatever else. So his friend's like, listen, man, I got you 2 tickets to a game, but it's a Jet game. My dad's like, you know what? Let's just go. We'll have a good time. Let him just see what it's all about. So as a kid, going to a stadium was like a larger life experience. And then you see all the tailgating, which was like, everybody's having so much fun. It's just, there's like a lively environment. And then you go inside the stadium for the first time as a kid, and you're just like in awe because what you see on TV is now in front of your eyes, and you're like, who is all this? And then you hear the chants, the roar of the crowd, and you're like, this is amazing. Like this, I want to do this all the time. So, you hear the Jet chant, the Jets chant, you want to be a part of it, you want to do it. Then the Jets blew out the Browns. I believe Brian Sipe was the quarterback for that game, and I was hooked. I was like, I love the Jets. This is great. This team is awesome. As a kid, you don't know any better. I mean, a lot of times on TV at that point, it was like Cowboys, Steelers, 49ers, Giants. Like the Jets were kind of like the underdog team, like especially my family. So I kind of embraced it, and then it was kind of like you're like the outsider, like me against the family. Like I like this green team, you like the blue team. So then a couple of years go by, you keep following the team, and then I'm like, you know what? I want to get season tickets. Like that was like my dream. Like my whole goal was like I want to be a season ticket holder for the New York Jets. But at that time, there was a waiting list. Like you had to sign up for a waiting list, and it was long, like thousands of people long. And then every year you'd get a postcard to say what number you were on this list. And I would count down. I'd be, come on, man. Like I just want tickets so bad. So the team goes through different things. You become more of a fan, and as you get older, you learn more about the game, what it's all about, the team's history. I would read Jets Confidential, a paper that still exists today. Because it's not like, now with social media and everything else, you can get news instantaneously. With football, like when Jets Confidential had Jets Whispers, it was like the inside stuff. I was like, I would study that. I would know it. I was completely all in. And then in 1995, I finally got season tickets, which to me was like the highlight. I was like the best day of my life. Unfortunately, it was the same time where, Rich Kotite took over. But before that, I got everybody that wanted to give me a present. It was always either Jets gear or they tried to get me Jets tickets. So one of my exes when I was younger, her present to me was the Jets Dolphins tickets, which ended up being the fake Spike game. My luck. But you get through that, and then it's just I got season tickets with the Kotite years, and then you become more invested because once you're there 8 games a year plus the preseason, you're just fascinated. You want to learn more. You want to absorb it, and you develop a lot of friends. Like I would go to training camp at Hofstra. I would do everything, man. And what you do is you develop a bond with so many different people. Like the tailgates back in the Meadowlands were a lot different than they are now. Now, there are a lot of good tailgates where people have stayed together over the years, but we would have an enormous lot. Like we would tailgate in 4-H, and there'd be 40, 50 people that we'd hang out with every week. It was like a family. And when you sat in your section, I sat in 306, 308, upper level, loved my seats, but it was like you were one big family. To the point when you walked in, it's like, hello, how you doing? And if somebody wasn't there, like, hey, man, somebody's got to call this guy, make sure he's okay. And it was so much fun. And a lot of times, sitting with your friends at a game or tailgating was a lot better than the product on the field. So, I'm going to practice as a season ticket holder, and you just become so invested in it. And then that was it. It just takes off, and you're like, you know what? You're ride or die with this team. And that's kind of where it all started. It wasn't, my parents probably hoped that I was going to be a Giants fan. I went against the grain. I never looked back. So, let me know what made you become a fan of this team. We don't regret it, because I think the old thing is, that's the other question we always get asked. How can you be a fan of the New York Jets? And the thing is, after all we've been through and how much we've invested in this team, there's no looking back. So we know the day that this actually happens, which is going to happen, where they go to the Super Bowl, win it, the reward and the party and the celebration after it will be worth all this pain and suffering. It'll be the biggest parade in the Canyon Heroes. It'll be the biggest celebration this area's ever seen, and we'll be a part of it. And I can't wait. Like I mean, everybody I work with knows. Like I'll be off work for like 2 weeks. Like it's just gonna be wild. It's gonna be worth it. So it's never been easy. We all know this. It's a roller coaster ride, but it's our team, and we stick with them through all the thick and thin. And I just can't wait till it turns around because we all deserve it. But when it does, it's gonna be glorious. So let me know what made you a fan of this team. I'll talk to you later.